everyone. Today we are going to start the Tycoon Production System Pro tutorial series, where in the first video we are going to explain the conveyor system, how you can create your own conveyor, how you can set it up, we're going to explain some of its variables, etc. And in the second video, we're going to talk about machine system. We're going to talk about items, recipes, how you can create your own machine definition, and so on. So before going on to the conveyor system, I would like to advise you to read the documentation as it has a lot of as it's contained the major things, how you can install and set up the machine, the tool, etc. About conveyor system, what we will do today, it has all the variables, it explains each variable, the definition of it, and so on. It's very helpful for you, I believe. So to install and set up the Tycoon Production System Pro, you need only to open it in Unity, import it, wait for the importation to complete. So after that, you have successfully imported the asset. Now let's create our own conveyor. This asset actually contains already two sub-assets. The first one being that, oh, my bad. Oh. The first one being the Tycoon Production System Pro, and the second one being the Factory Machine Megapack. So after that, you have successfully imported the assets. Now let's create our own conveyor system. This asset actually contains already two sub-assets. The first one being the tool itself, and the Factory Machine Megapack, which contains a lot of machines, a lot of conveyors, etc. that we can use them. So let's access them, prefab, and get that straight conveyor, the curved conveyor, and the two-sided conveyor. We will not do the inclined conveyor in this tutorial, because it's just like the straight conveyor. However, the spline will be upward and not straightforward. So let's start with the straight conveyor. What we should do at the beginning is add the conveyor build script, add a box collider for verifying if objects are on this conveyor or no. So just add it like here, like that, and mark it as is trigger. Now you should add an empty, let's call it spline, and add spline conveyor. Now what we can do now is add waypoint. It will automatically add a waypoint inside the spline empty object. So let's add two waypoints, one for the beginning and one for the end. Let's drag them upward. Let's put it like here, like that. That's perfect. Oop, oop. Now let's take the waypoint one and put it at the other side. Now what will happen is that those two waypoints create a spline between them. So when objects fall inside the conveyor, it will go from waypoint 0 to waypoint 1. It will follow the conveyor. If we have, let's create a second waypoint. Whoop. So it create another spline. So it will go from waypoint 1 to that third waypoint, and you can make like curvature, etc. However, let's stay with two waypoints for the straight conveyor. We will do them later with the curved conveyor. So right now, if I create, so yeah, first of all, let's add mesh collider for the rollers, convex, yep. And now let's add a cube that will be the item. Let's add it right here. Now, if I hit play, the conveyor won't work. Why? Because the required power is on. The required power means that there should be a generator nearby the conveyor that will give it power. However, we will discuss the generator in the second series. So right now, let's toggle that off and hit play. Add rigid body first of all. Oop. And now now hit play. And as you see, what happened? It follows it and continues. However, at the end, what we can do now is disable allow off. That will make it when it go at the end, it will stop and not fall down. But let's say I have a second conveyor and I want to add it right here. So it continues. What we should do is take the conveyor and add what we call connectors. So let's create an empty, call it entry, give it the connector, and put it right there. And now let's create the exit one. Call it exit and put it at at the other side. Now let's duplicate the conveyor and put it right there. Now let's hit play and see what happened. The object fall, it follows the conveyor and it continues. So the reason why that glitch a bit is because there is a small space. You should close it. And what happens here is that there is an entry and an exit. What happens is that when you start the game, oh wait a second, the exit is not well placed. It should be more like here. Yep. So what happens is that the conveyor, the exit radius, will see if there's any entry inside of its radius. And now like here we have this entry that collides with this exit. So what happens is that it will create a spline both between both waypoints. So the object continues from here to there. You can check that inside of the conveyor belt. In here, the connection status, you can see that entry, it has no connection because here it's not connected to anything. By the exit, it has the entry connection of the straight conveyor 1 connect to it. And in the third conveyor 1, we can see that the entry is connected to the exit of this conveyor, and the exit isn't connected to nothing. So that's it for the straight conveyor. Now let's move on to the curved conveyor. Curved conveyor, the process is the exact same thing. We should add the conveyor belt, a small box collider, reset trigger, and whoop, whoop. And now what you can do next is just add the spline entry exit to the conveyor belt. Place your spline exactly as you want. On the second waypoint, right there. You can simply add another waypoint by duplicating one of the waypoints. And now like that we have a curved conveyor that works just like the other ones. Let's add just a mesh collider for this one. And now add an object right there and start the game. Oop, I just forgot to disable the required power. Now we hit play. Again. Oh no, I just forgot to put them inside of the conveyor. Yeah, now we play. And as you see, the object fall and continue. And now because I have the allow fall off buckled on, it does not stay in here, but it falls. So everything works great. Now, lastly, for this merger, it's the exact same process. We take the spline and then fix it. We add them inside here. Oop. Like that. And now what you can do is, in order for objects to come from here and directly enter that merger, what we can do is add multiple entry points. So just Control D, put one over here, Control D, put one over there. Put all of that inside the both side of the conveyor. Add the conveyor belts, and that's it. Now everything works. Just increase the belt width, and now everything should work just fine. So to test it, let's take it up, put it over there, take a conveyor up, put it like that, and do the same thing over there. Like that. And now uh, this one you should reverse it. Reverse. So now the enter becomes the exit and the exit become enter. So that object will go like that. And we should add the box collider, trigger, and the mesh collider for this one. So object don't fall off. Mesh collider, convex. Let's add an object right here. Zero, zero, zero. Let's add this in the other side and hit play. Now, as you see, they will go in and they will just enter like that. Now here, the problem is that the enter was so inside. Let's put it just right there. And the exit of this one, let's put it precisely right there. Now, and now as you see, they continue and they will wait for their turn and they will go. So that's it for the conveyor system. Also, one last thing, that there is a visual mode for the build scroll and roll rotation where you can add your rollers. So here I can add all those rollers inside of here and it will create an animation that where they will just rotate with an axis that you give them. Or you can add a build scroll where if you have an object like this one, let's give it build scroll Y and hit enter. Oh, no, I forgot. I think we should just add the build prefab so we know what mesh should rotate. And now we will have a rotation animation for the build. Uh, remove require power, and as you see it rotates. Let's reduce the speed. As you see, we have a build rotation. So that's it for the first tutorial. We can now move on to the machine